Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibilities. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Ah, yeah. 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 Be open. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Ah, yeah. 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 Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Sing along, come on. Ah, yeah. 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 Be open. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Ah, yeah, come on. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. You know it. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. One more time through. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Well done. That was lovely. Thank you for singing along. Good morning, Universal Spirit Center. Thank you for being here this morning on time. Very nice, very nice. You set your clocks right. So please put your phones on vibrate. And if you wouldn't mind standing and joining me in a song, I Send My Love Over the Mountains. Thank you. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. We're going to send our love again. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I believe it's joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my power. I send my power over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my, don't know what's next. Gotta have the next words, guys. What are the next words? Come on. Yeah, peace. There is peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love again. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my dove into the heavens, and it returns to me. And it returns to me. And it returns to me. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yay.
Glory and grace. Thank you, Lord.
You're welcome.
And our house band, as always. Thank you. That's good. Good morning. Just breathe with me this morning. That would support me through this. I'm Evan Busey. I welcome all of you to Universal Spirit Center. A special welcome for you who join us for the first time. You can see a couple new faces out there. I welcome you all. Welcome you who join us online. We're glad you're with us this morning. Thank you very much. So Anne-Marie's going to India. So and would you stand for India? Stand for India. Would you stand? She's going to India. And I'm pointing her out because most of you know that my partner of 24 years made his transition about a month ago. And prior to his doing that, prior to that happened, we found an orphanage, not an orphanage, a place that rescued dogs in India. It was a gentleman that opened his home and his yard to dogs that are paralyzed or dogs that are crippled. And we found this online, and we started supporting that agency, that guy who's doing this great work. And so when he made his transition, we offered that as a memorial for anyone who wanted to contribute in my partner's honor, Tim Hepburn. So Anne-Marie is going to India and going to visit that place. She's going to visit it. That we happened to find online probably about 4 months ago. So I'm jealous that you get to go there. And so if you want to contribute to this place that takes care of crippled, paralyzed dogs in India, please see Anne-Marie afterwards, and then she'll give that money in honor of memory of Tim Hepburn. So that's what we're doing. Thanks, Anne-Marie. So I also, right after our meeting here, we're going to have a meeting across in the classroom for anyone who's interested in attending a silent retreat, which I'm leading the end of April. It's for 5 days. It's at a monastery in Oceanside. It's a very powerful experience for those of you who might be interested. It's a Monday through Friday of complete silence. If you're interested, this is for anyone who's not been and wants to check it out. So right after this, we'll meet in a classroom across the street. Let me know you're interested in going, and then we'll wait for you to come over there. Okay, those are my announcements. Who's the next announcer? It's Carolyn.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. A shout out for that retreat. If you haven't been, I highly recommend it. It was transformative. It's amazing what your brain has to say when you shut up. So I'll start with our history. On this day in 1959, 21 black teenagers burned to death in a locked dormitory of their segregated reform school in Arkansas. While white reform schools were geared toward education, black reform schools were like prisons, subjecting teenagers to manual labor and dangerous living conditions, including locking the boys' dorms at night. So for our prayer, I will, I didn't know we had a picture. For our prayer, I will start, and then you repeat after me. We are the light bearers of love and forgiveness. Vibrating the flames of equality, grace, and peace all over the world. We need the slide. Embracing our history is key to overcoming. Systemic racial, sexual, and mental inequality. We are all part of our history. Very good. Y'all have homework this week. All right, next Saturday is our final fundraiser for the Racial Equality's trip to DC in April. So next Saturday, put on your green and come over at 5 o'clock. It's going to be St. Patty's Bingo. And you can also wear it says your favorite leprechaun costume. In case you have many, wear your favorite one. Fun for the entire family, wonderful raffle prizes. Boards are $15, raffle tickets are $5. We leave for DC the first week of April on April 1st, so we'd really appreciate this final fundraiser to help us offset the expenses of that trip. Thank you. And we need volunteers for the event as well. Okay, racial equality call to action. The history behind Women's History Month, that's this month. If you have a woman that you want to honor, please share her short story and send it to Gino. Racial Equality Project's page is under Get Involved on our website. So this month is Women's History Month, and I'd love to see honors for all of our mothers and sisters and brave ones. Finally, Awakening Wednesday. Guest speaker Selena Maturia, transforming your life with vibrational frequency. To live in one's spirit is to overcome low frequency negativity, often present in the physical world. She shows us how to make our daily life our spiritual practice. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Bob Mose. I have the rest of your announcements. Hello. Here's a tongue twister. March, Monday, midday meditation. Say that 10 times fast. It's from 1 to 2 across the street with Deva. I know Deva's here. Stand up, Deva. Yay. Whether you're a beginner somebody, a mediator, or a veteran, show up in love, and we're asking for a love offering for that. Paperback ministry is today, so donate and assemble bags of essentials for those that ask for assistance on the street. Or donate the bags, donate and leave the bags, and we'll see it gets to those people in need. So for those of you online, if you have any questions about what we just said, please go to our website, universalspiritcenter.org, for all the answers. And speaking of the time change, did you guys ever try to eat a clock? It's time consuming.
All right, let's acknowledge Bob and his joke. I have to acknowledge when we were repeating the prayer in response for the racial equality, I got thrown back to Latin masses, because when I was a kid, masses were still in Latin, right? So I thought, did we get thrown back to Latin masses as you were trying to stumble through that? So let's do as our tradition. I'm going to invite you to stand, and I'd like you to look below the clock, which is a camera where hundreds of people are watching us online. Thanks for joining us online. We're glad you're part of Universal Spirit Center. So stay standing, and welcome each other to Universal Spirit Center.
Good morning, everyone. If we could start finding our way back to our chairs, because there's so many things and so many people here that when we show up on Sundays, we just want to love and just kiss all over everyone, don't we? So the people online, you're missing out. I mean, you should really be here in person for all the love fest that's happening here. So, I am Christine Thompson. I'm one of the practitioners here. And welcome to your day. Welcome to being here with each of us and yourself. So I'm glad that we figured out the time situation and we all got here on time. Because it was a bit rough, I have to tell you. So let's just breathe into that, and as we get comfortable in our chairs, just allow all that it took to get here this morning to just be here. And if you feel comfortable doing so, let's shut down our eyes. And if it feels even better, maybe put one of your hands on your heart. And just sink in. And let's just meet ourselves as the God presence that we are. So our reading this morning is from Joel Goldsmith, and he says, I am infinite. I am eternal because the divine is the life and substance of my being. Because the divine is the life and substance of my being. Because the divine is the life and substance of my being. Because the divine is the life and substance of everything and all things. And so breathing into that, that's the only thing that's happening, is the infinite, powerful presence of the one whole and perfect life that we call God, that is our very substance. It is what got us up this morning, and it is what got us here. The life and substance of the divine. Its powerful creation created us, and it is what is here with us this morning. It is how we move about. It is in the words of Reverend Kevin, Lauren Grace, and our musicians. It is what brought all of the volunteers and the hands and the hearts that set up this space. It is our IT. It is everywhere and all things. It is what beats our hearts, says hello, welcomes, loves, and has its way with us. The life and substance over and over again, always and forever infinite. This is me. This is you. This is all of us. And so how wonderful it is then to just be reminded in this breath and in this breath, the life and substance of the divine here. And so we just rest and surrender and take it all in, knowing it is good and so very good. And so it is.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. When fear and worry drop away from me, I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. A love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets me free. there is only, there is only, there is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets you free. There is only love.
One more time.
There is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
I think that song was written for you to sing. It was beautiful, beautiful. Wow, that's so great. So I had mentioned earlier that my partner suddenly died my partner of 24 years, about 5 weeks ago, and I want to share some insights I've had during these last few weeks to maybe help you on your spiritual journey or maybe assist you in dealing with really intense emotion. So this song is so appropriate. There is only love. Because it's hard for me to express how much love I have felt from you, from family, and from friends. There are people that have gone above and beyond in reaching out to me. So many of you have been sending me texts. I have so many cards, cooking meals. It's just been overwhelming. I've had family and friends come over from all over the country. It's been a powerful experience. It makes me have an experience that really love is the truth between us. That's the deepest spiritual truth. And we let other things get caught up in that energy, but love is the truth. And I feel my partner Tim so strongly the last several weeks. So much love. I just have to acknowledge that. So, I don't know how I could ever really articulate to you my gratitude for the many ways in which all of you online and here in this room have reached out. It's just brought me the deep awareness that love is the truth between us, the deepest truth. So I've been aware of that. I've also been aware of how my mind has guided me throughout this process. In the midst of a lot of intense feelings and acute grief, I've been able to function through, I've been able to do all the things that needed to be done, been able to take care of myself and our dogs and life, right? In the midst of this grief, my mind has assisted me in getting through what needs to be done. And isn't that true in our lives too? I mean, if we look at our lives in daily life, it's our minds that empower us to make a living, to cook, to feed ourselves, to do hygiene, to take care of ourselves, to care for other people, to pay taxes, to pay the bills, all the things that's required of us. It's our minds that help us navigate through the form in this world. And it's a good thing. If we didn't have the mind, we'd be, curled up maybe in a corner somewhere. But it helps us to engage with all the responsibilities and all the things in our lives. Sometimes we, and maybe me in talking spirituality and about the mind, have made me kind of bashed the mind. The mind's a good thing. Where I think we run into danger, and I'm speaking for myself here too, where we run into danger with the mind is we set it up as the God of our life. That we substitute mind for the infinite divine intelligence that wants to seek through us. I think that's when we get in trouble. And I think if we look at the human race, if we look at our culture, it's really easy to see that we've replaced divine infinite intelligence with our puny little finite minds. We have. And we know we've done that when we're always looking for what's wrong in a situation. We always look what is missing. We're always look into the future for our happiness, or outside of ourselves for our happiness or our peace. We know that we're in small mind when we are judging and we are creating separateness between us and someone else, when we are blaming, when we are making the other group, the other religion, the other political party, the other person as other, as threat. That's when you and I have all these indications that we've separated out from the spiritual truth that there's only love between us. When we've replaced infinite divine intelligence with our mind. When you and I happen to focus on past or on future, we're in small mind. Here's what's dangerous about that. When you and I are operating slowly out of our own individual mind, we block the possibility of the divine working through us. We opt out of that energy, of that power, of that infinite, vast, loving intelligence. We block it when you and I exclusively work from small mind. Small mind starts to rev up and gets really in hyper overdrive when we're stressed, when we're experiencing intense feelings, when we experience deep grief. I've watched my mind go nuts. Maybe there's a better word than nuts. How about kick into overdrive? I've watched my mind over these last weeks as an attempt to create some artificial safety, as a way maybe not to feel overwhelmed by feelings, as a way to try to feel safe. So I know when I'm in mind, when I'm really suffering. Because when I'm in mind, I tend to suffer more. And so what's been helpful for me is I'm reading this book called Magical Year of Thinking. Do people know that, Jean Dillon? Several people, once my partner died, several people recommended that book to me. And it's about a woman who loses her husband suddenly. And it's about her year of deep grief about that. And I'm not that far into the book, but she might lose her daughter too. She loses her daughter too. Oh my gosh. Okay, within a couple of weeks, I think she loses both. But anyway, she's in acute guilt. And what she says is the mind gets irrational. And it's not just deep guilt. I think it's any time we get faced with intense feelings, the mind becomes irrational. And it tends to separate and blame out. So over this last 5 weeks, I've noticed myself, there's someone that I interpreted in my life that hasn't come through the way I wanted them to come through. So I see myself making a story up about them because they didn't live up to whatever expectation I might have. And I find myself making them other and separating out. That's the operation exclusively of mind. Because mind will separate and make wrong and see threat. Does it make sense? Are we tracking? How many can relate to this? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for raising your hand. So I want to pause for a minute and acknowledge a piece of synchronicity. As I said, several people in my life acknowledged this book that I should get, A Year of Magical Thinking. So last Wednesday, I came to do a class here Wednesday night. Some of you are in it. And on my desk is the book someone gifted me, not someone who recommended it, A Year of Magical Thinking. Synchronicity is always working, right? So I take that book home. I read the first 100 pages that night because it's something that's really, really speaking to me. I think Spirit, I think the universe sets up situations for us where we have a realization that our small minds will not save us. And it's usually something like crisis, and it's usually something like hitting rock bottom, and it's usually intense situations that happen out there that cause intense feelings. I think that's the universe, or the universe saying, hey, you're relying too much on your small mind. You've replaced me. So I'm going to get in there and bring you to a place where you have to surrender with the awareness that we can't figure it out. We can't control it. We can't fix it. Because that's what mind wants to do, fix and control. But I think each of us have situations that have happened or will happen in our lives in which we hit rock bottom and say, I have to surrender to a greater power, a greater intelligence, a greater love. How many of you in this room have had that kind of experience? Okay, it's a human condition. It's a human condition that the universe brings situations in our lives that bring us to the bottom of our lives with the awareness that the only place to look is up. So I can't tell you how to avoid pain. I can't tell you that because part of the human condition, and apparently part of this spiritual journey, is to experience pain. It just is. However, I can talk to you about how to avoid suffering. To me, suffering is when we encounter pain and we try to fix it, control it, deny it, all those things we do not to feel it. That causes suffering. When you and I resist what is happening in our lives and fight against it and struggle and try to change and fix, that, the Buddha says, is what suffering is. It's what suffering is. The way we allow, it's my experience, the way we allow infinite presence to move through us is to become a companion to the way that we're feeling, the pain that we're feeling. That's how you and I open to a vast intelligence that resides in our bodies. So for me, it's been really, really intense, profound grief. So what I've had to do is watch how my mind gets irrational. And what I've had to do is come into the grief within my body. When we experience intense pain, the way to heal it is to move through it, to feel it. To heal it is to feel it. That's it, right? To heal it is to feel it. It's to feel it. So I'm feeling it in my body. I'm feeling it in my heart. I'm feeling the image I have is a devastated, broken heart. To the degree that I can sit with that, and if I can sit with it long enough, one of two things happens. And I'm saying this to you so that when you experience intense, overwhelming feelings in your own life, this might be a guide for you. So when I feel this, there's one of two things that happen. Either I feel completely overwhelmed, and then I've got to call someone, I've got to do movement, I've got to get in the sun, I've got to drink water. There are times in which it's too much. When I can manage that and sit with it, at least for a time, I will tell you this. This is probably the most painful thing I will ever go through. And when I can sit in that grief and pain, if I can sit long enough and don't feel too overwhelmed by it, I start to feel into a softening around it. I start to feel into a spaciousness. I start to feel in presence. It doesn't happen immediately, but it's my experience that it happens. That I can soften around it. And it's not necessarily that it takes the pain away, but it makes it so that I can hold the grief and the grace at the same time. And to me, that's where the healing is. For grace and light to fuse and mingle with the grief and the pain. I'm also aware in so many ways of the power of synchronicity happening. So what I'm doing in the morning, as soon as I wake up and I remember this horrible situation that's happened, I also come up with an affirmation to just the energy for the day. So Friday morning, I woke up, I picked an affirmation, and the affirmation I picked is loving, infinite intelligence is unfolding through my life. That's what it was. So I get up, I go get my coffee to accompany with me as I go do my spiritual practice. And I get up and we have a breakfast nook that overlooks, there's a window, and it overlooks across the street. And I'm fixing my coffee, And I'm looking out the window, sun's out, I'm happy about that. And I'm looking at a neighbor's yard across the street, and I see a big kind of tail. And then I look what I think is part of a dog in their bushes. And I'm like, I don't see an owner or human companion around, so I'm thinking, oh, this dog's loose. So I start to be aware of that and maybe concerned about that. And as it's walking, I'm thinking, no, I think that's a coyote. It's a coyote across the street in the yard. And I'm like, this is interesting. So once my coffee gets up to start brewing, I go out to the gate and right outside the house. And there's a gate because I could see clearly. I'm just curious about this coyote, right? It looks healthy. It looks fairly large. And this coyote is sniffing around their yard. And I thought, this is just curious to watch this. And I'm thinking, usually there's a ton of dog walkers in our neighborhood, so if I'd see any, I'd kind of alert them. Didn't see any. He's sniffing around. He spots me. He or she spots me. He sits down on the sidewalk and he stares at me, honestly, for about a minute. And I'm just like, wow. And he's like a dog in that, you picture a dog sitting on their hind legs and just staring at you. That's what he's doing for about a minute. I'm like, whoa. So after that, I'm like blown away. Then he's, after about a minute, he walks down the street and I'm like, getting my coffee. I'm like, that's amazing. And then I'm like, wait a minute. What does it mean when a coyote stares at you? What's a spiritual experience? It took me a minute to grasp that, but I got on it. So I sure enough go back to my phone, go back with my phone, with my coffee, sit in my bed. My spiritual practice is coffee, read a book, and then meditate. So that's what I do, spiritual reading. So, but instead I'm on my phone, and I'm looking, and it's three things. It's the courage to face what's in front of you. I'm like, wow. It's inner transformation. When they stare at you, it's inner transformation. It's the experience of opening to love. I'm like, what a message. It's spot on. And they actually had, an article, a spiritual article, when a coyote locks gaze with you. It's drawing forth courage. It's an awareness of deep transformation. And it's the experience of love is happening. Let's take a breath here. Oh, man. Let's take another breath. And one more breath. I read somewhere this week, and I don't remember where, that the spiritual life requires courage. It requires courage. And I think that's because it's the deep call, the spiritual life calls us to go deep within ourselves and to be present with what is. And that really takes courage. When you and I have tried for a lifetime to fix, to control, to manage, to deny, to avoid, to make wrong, it takes courage to stop all of those things we've engaged in, to try to find some illusion of safety. And those very things that we engage in to numb out ourselves, And I thought about this last month. Our culture offers us so many ways to numb out. There's a lot of ways. We know that. So it takes courage. It takes courage to say, I'm going to be with what is and see where that leads me. And here's where it leads us, to a deeper experience of God's love. It does. So as I'm calling myself, I'm also calling you to be with the pain, to move past the many ways we try to fix and control and make wrong and separate and numb out. To stop that behavior that limits, blocks the infinite from moving through us. What if you and I just agreed? We're going to be present to what is as a pathway to deeper awakening. That's the invitation. That's the challenge before us this morning. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to invite you to take a deep, full, rich breath right into your heart. And I'm going to read something I actually read this morning, just found this morning from Practicing the Presence in Joe Goldsmith's. To be aware of God's presence hour after hour, day in and day out, for 1, 2, 3 months, causes the divine to be the law of our being. Holding the divine as the activity of our day changes our entire experience. At first, this is all in the realm of mind, but by constantly being aware of presence, we move into deep awareness, deep consciousness, and then the experience of the divine takes over our lives. And then the experience of the divine takes over our lives. So let's just together breathe in to the experience of infinite, divine God's love. We just breathe in now. We open now to receive this vast, loving intelligence that seeks to unfold as our lives. We just open to that now. We allow it, we invite it, we unleash it in our lives, we surrender. Let's have the courage to surrender to that which is infinite and loving and vast intelligence. Let's open. Let's open our minds. Let's open our hearts. Let's open our lives to this unfolding divine presence.
my heart. My heart is opening, opening, and my heart is opening, opening. I am opening my life, my life. Sing with me. My life is opening, opening, and my life, it is opening, opening, and I am opening my world. My world, it is opening, opening. Yes, my world, it is opening, opening, and I am, oh, I am opening.
Lauren Grace and our band again. We are here to open to love. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. This community's purpose is to call ourselves and each other to open more fully to the experience of love. That's why we're here. To open to that love which is infinite and unconditional. That's how come we're here. When you financially support us, you support us and yourself to open to the experience of love. So thank you for the ways in which you support us in opening to love. You financially support this experience of opening to love. And if you aren't supporting us financially, I ask you to. With so much craziness going on in the world right now, let's put our energy and our intention and our finances behind a place that calls us to open to love. Let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm going to invite all of you to place your hands over your heart. Take a deep breath, to have an awareness that within you and within the person sitting next to you and in front of you and behind you, within each one of us is infinite divine love. So we just open to that right now. and we let it move through us here this morning as financial support. Financial support for this community that calls us to love. So if you'd repeat after me. As I give out, I receive. As I receive, I give out. God happening as me. And so it is.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, healing day. This healing day. Oh, thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, beautiful day. This beautiful day. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful friends. My wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. I want to say thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful.
Woo, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Our music team, thank you. So, Anne-Marie, would you stand? See Anne-Marie in supporting the dog rescue in India. See me if you're interested in the retreat. And then outside we have Paper Bag Ministry. So there we have it. Let's stand and join hands. So I'm going to invite you again to take a deep breath into your heart, to close your eyes, and to just come into the awareness of an infinite presence within you. Let's just breathe into that. Let's be aware of it. Let's open to that here. Let's open to the flow, to the energy, to its guidance, to its support, to its vast love and intelligence. Let's just surrender into that love here. And let's call forth that love to move out from each one of us, out into our lives, blessing and healing and connecting. And let's know this together as we say, so it is.
I send my love over the mountain. It's all kinds of twisted, but send my love. There we go. Over the sea, I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love in
send my joy into the mountain. Thank you. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my power, over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power into the heavens, and it returns to me. Back to love. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. Yes, it returns to me. Yes, it returns to me. Ooh. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. That was so much fun. So much fun. I'm having fun. Thank you, band. You're amazing.